So when it asks where is the slope defined, we're actually going to figure out where it's undefined. So how do we figure out where the slope's going to be undefined? What would be our first step here probably? Yeah, find the derivative. Okay, so the derivative is going to tell you what the slope is at any point on that curve. So we want to figure out what dy dx is first. To do that, we're going to have to use implicit differentiation, and we'll use the product rule here. So using the product rule, the derivative of the first is 2x, taking the derivative of x is with respect to x, we're good, times y, so derivative of the first times the second, plus the first times the derivative of the second, dy dx, minus, again, going to use the product rule here, the derivative of the first, 1 times the second, which is y squared, plus the first times the derivative of the second, derivative of y squared, and that's equal to the derivative of 4, which is 0. I see this mistake a lot. A lot of people will do all of this correct over here, and then come over here and just copy down the 4. Be careful about that. You have to take the derivative of everything. Okay, Alyssa, do you have a question?
Yeah, okay, whenever we write dy dx, you only write that for the derivatives that are, like, so for the x squared y, you multiply the derivative of the first times the second, and y is the second. So do you not put dy dx after that because it's just...
Because we didn't take the derivative of the y. So we multiply by dy dx anytime we're taking the derivative of something in terms of y with respect to x. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this first part here, when we did 2x times y, when we took the derivative, we were actually taking the derivative of x's. Okay, again, we need to collect the dy dx terms on one side. So we get dy dx times the quantity x squared minus 2xy on the left. You guys agree with that? And then on the right, we're going to have y squared minus 2xy. Is that right? Then to find the derivative, what do? We'll divide by x squared minus 2xy. And we get that. So that's dy dx, right? Let me clean this up a little bit here. So then how do we answer the question? The question was, where is it defined, which is the opposite of where is it undefined. So how do we figure out where this derivative is not going to be defined? When is it not going to be defined? When the bottom equals 0, right? So it's going to be undefined anytime. Let me write this out here. So dy dx is undefined when what? When that equals 0. So when the denominator equals 0. How do we figure out when the denominator is going to equal 0? Can we solve that in any way? Huh? You guys are making it more difficult than it is. Set each of those factors equal to 0, right? So the denominator is going to equal 0 when x equals 0. Or, what else? If x minus 2y equals 0, then what does x equal? I'm out of room here. Let me give myself some more room. It's a pretty arrow. That's better. Okay, so the derivative is undefined when the denominator is equal to 0, so it's going to be at x equals 0 or x equals 2y. So then how would we write that? How would we write an answer to what the book actually asked? So the book actually asked when it is defined. I wouldn't say all real numbers because all real numbers actually doesn't work here because we're going to have some x, y's that some ordered pairs that are not going to be on this relation, on this curve. So I would say the slope is defined at every point on the curve except one. Except in these two cases right here, when x equals 0 or x equals 2y. Ooh, got a little extra y in there.